encouraging speaking business, and this is my breakout session, I guess. So all the folks that I've known throughout my life and new ones and friends and family. So thank you all for basically coming here. Thank you. So the Startup Movement was created in 2009, okay? Speaking engagements, advocate, mentor, encouraging people finding balance in their purpose. And the mission statement for the Lioness Pride is to embrace strength and inspire purpose. Today we come together to acknowledge each and every woman in here for their contribution and effortless journey in life through motherhood, daughter, aunt, wife, sister, mate, companion, and friend. And these are the many roles that we play in people's lives. And this is why this event is called Women of Many Hats, because of the roles that we play. And one of the topics is self-care, and that's basically teaching us women how to put ourselves first, because we take care of everyone else and don't put ourselves first. So in this conference, we will understand each other. Women, we validate each other, and these are the friendships that we need to grow and to understand each other. So when I was in middle school, we had to quote and memorize certain Black poets in order to get a grade. I don't think they do that these days in school anymore, but one of the poems was Langston Hughes. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode? What happens to a dream deferred? And this poem comes to mind because I thought of myself and how since 2009, that's like over 10 years. I don't know if you ladies ever had a dream of something that you want to do in life, but that fear is suffocating. And today I'm stepping out, and you all are a part of me stepping out, and I appreciate you all being here. And someone said pressure busts pipes, but it also makes diamonds. So with that being said, we're going to introduce our first speaker, Ms. Bernadette Rucker. I'm going to read a little bit of her bio. Okay, she's smiling. Be proud of this bio because it's long. Bernadette Rucker is a native of Boston, Mass. She attended Boston Public Schools and received her undergraduate studies from Roxbury Community College and Northeastern University. Ms. Bernadette achieved 2 master's degrees from Cambridge College, where she studied human resources. That's right, encourage her, that's right. In 1992, and counseling psychology in 1998. Ms. Bernadette, she's Miss Bernadette because if I say Bernadette, my mother will kill me, so she's Miss Bernadette. I can't just say Bernadette. So Ms. Bernadette's career has continued to be in the helping field, working at nonprofit agencies over much of her work life. Her passions over her career has been in health and welfare of women, who often are the caregivers of family, community, and she also participates on a roundtable for domestic violence and supports women's knowledge of when she can leave a relationship safely as a safety plan. Bernadette's pastime of making prom dresses for the community girls and an opportunity to talk to young women about furthering their education and self-actualization. After high school, she comes from a close-knit family and has been a strong supporter of her family and family history. And that's Miss Bernadette Rucker.
Yeah. Nice to see so many folks, some that I know, some that I don't, but I'm hoping that we'll have some kind of network going on after this. But I think this first stepping out in our conference is really fitting for women who of many hats, who have many hats, because that's us. That's us in the community, that's us among our family, that's us wherever we go. We are the strength and the pillars of many things that we do in the community. So I wanted to, when I was asked to do a little bit around self-care for women, the first thing I thought of was the way in which we have our physicals during the year, and how we partner with our medical professionals, because it is a partnership. And I want you to know that it is, and I've always, I've attended doctor appointments with elders in my family, as well as, you know, people who may be disabled, because, in my own family, because sometimes we hear a lot of stuff that have to do with the medical jargon, and we don't ask, what are you saying? I don't know what that means. We don't ask them to explain further. And I think it's important for you to know that when you have your physicals, if you're being treated for anything, that you need to understand fully what's going on. And so you need time for that. And I've always watched my medical professionals and how much time they gave me. Because, you know, in today's world, they rush you through to get you out. But I insist on more time. So this presentation, and I'll give you a copy of this so that you don't forget what I've talked to you about, and that you kind of remember some of the things that you need to do for self-care. Because we are women that wear many hats. And a lot of us don't go as often as we should for whatever it ails us. And we wait, and everybody else comes first before us. So I think we need to be empowered to take charge of our own health as we're aging, as we're going about life. So one of the first things that I wrote down here was asking questions, you know, doctors and partners in your health care. Asking questions when the doctor's explanations are not clear, when bringing up problems or concerns and letting the doctor know when treatment is not working is important in your health and your welfare. I first started with getting ready for your appointment. I don't know how many of you think about that when you're going on your doctor's appointments. Do you think about what you want to ask when you're going there? Do you prepare? You know, these are the things you need to ask yourself, because we're rushing through life a lot of the times, and we're not getting what we really need, and that's information about our health and our welfare. So it says, I always put down a list of concerns. So if you have any concerns, if you've had an ache or a pain or medication that's been given to you and you're not too familiar with how you're supposed to feel with it, or maybe you're not feeling good, you need to ask about that. Because especially when it comes to medication has a period in which it begins to feel a lot better than it does in the very beginning. So sometimes you don't get the benefit of the medication to a certain amount of hours or a certain amount of days. So you need to always bring a list of your medications with you, and even including vitamins. Sometimes we don't think if we take vitamins, that's one of the things we should let our medical professionals know, especially our doctors that do our annual physicals. So I'm hoping everybody, I know everybody in this room has an annual physical, because that's really important. It helps us to, especially as people of color, it helps us to stay on top of things that could be happening, you know. If you say that cancer doesn't run in my family, then you never know. You never know when you might have cancer. Because sometimes I think it's environmental. Sometimes I'm thinking sometimes it's environmental, where you live and what's there, you know. Sometimes in the environment where you live, you know, there could have been factories, you know, because I remember one time there were, everybody had asthma in Roxbury. And that had a lot to do with the lead paint and everything else that was there in the environment. So I had siblings that were born with asthma, just through the intrauterine thing. And so, and I have adult onset of asthma, so I kind of stay on top of that because it's rough to feel like you can't breathe. It really is, especially in the wintertime. Okay, so if you have problems with hearing or seeing or understanding your doctor or the nurse, let them know. If you're not hearing what they're saying, you really need to make sure that you understand what they're saying and that you can hear what they're saying. And they can, like I said, they can take the time to really explain things in layman terms. So I always look out for that, because they're not in charge of your body. You're the one that's in there. And so you know how you feel about stuff, and you need to be comfortable with talking about that, because that is extremely important, because they won't know unless you give them the information so that they can do a better job with treating you for whatever ails you. Talk to your doctor, especially about if you're having problems with sleeping, and if you've had any medical emergencies while you haven't been there. Because I go once a year, and then I have other illnesses that I go and see specialists for. So I always will bring up, well, if I'm not sleeping well, I'll bring that up. Because one time I brought it up, and next thing you know, I was taking sleep apnea stuff. So then I found out it's not sleep apnea, it's just that I needed to be able to relax and go to bed at a decent hour of the night, So that has worked for me, especially in getting my sleep. You can feel free with bringing a relative or a friend with you when you go to see your medical professional. Sometimes having another set of ears listening to what they're telling you, especially when it's important to you around your health. It's important to bring somebody with you. I've gone with a brother, for instance, who just had a problem asking questions. Just had a problem asking any kind of questions. So I went with him one time, and ever since then he's been asking questions and really speaking up and talking about things that he needs to, let his doctor know. So same thing happens with women, A lot of in my family, there's a lot of Southern folk. And so a lot of Southern folk, when they see certain genders and certain, whether it's male or female or a certain ethnic or Caucasian, they will speak up or not speak up. And that's one of the things that I found with some of us who believe that doctors are so important that you don't need to say much, that they know they have all the answers. They don't. They don't have all the answers when it comes to your health and your well-being. So I want you to be empowered around that anytime you go. So prepare yourself for your physical, for whatever you're going for. Write down things, Bring a list, like I said, of your medications, and talk about the medical emergencies, because if you fell, for instance, it's a good thing to be able to say, because sometimes they ask you that. Have you fallen within the last 6 months? No, I haven't fallen. But you know what? I have fell last winter, slipped up on the ice. But that's a little different than when you're at home and you might have gotten dizzy, and then we just move on. We don't think about it anymore. We just move on, and we forget to talk about those kinds of things when we're in the doctor's office, okay? So I said, don't be afraid to ask questions about your disease or your disorder. You can ask, what do I have? What caused it? Can I be treated? Should I watch for particular symptoms or changes? Should I make any lifestyle changes? Because my doctor's talking about a lifestyle change for me. I'm working on it. It ain't that easy all the time, you know. It just takes some time, and I've been dealing with this for a while now, a lifestyle change, you know, around what I eat and when I eat. It's just, everybody cooks so well. I just have to eat. I have a taste for everything, so I'm struggling with that, but I continue to try to work on it. One of the questions has to do with how will this disease or disorder affect my lifestyle? So sometimes you need to know that if you keep doing something, this is going to happen. So it's good to be able to ask that question, you know. You could have, for instance, there's, in my family, there's we're diabetic. And so one of the things you need to know about being a diabetic is that if you don't keep your levels right, that you'll wind up losing your kidney. You know, you'll wind up having kidney failure. So that's important. That's one of the things that my sisters and I talk about all of the time, because my mother's generation didn't talk about medical issues. They didn't share that kind of stuff with one another. So I've tried to make sure that we talk about whatever the illness is that runs in our family. And you can live a long time with diabetes, but you gotta really keep, you know, your sugar levels down. You have to really follow the instructions of your medical professional, because you don't want to be on dialysis, but if you have to, and I have a couple of friends, a couple of family members who are on dialysis, you know, and it's a struggle. It's a real struggle. So you want to be able to understand what it is that you have and what can happen if you keep going in a direction that they may find that you're going in. So, I mean, and it's important to understand that, because you need to work harder. You need to try harder to be well for people that we care for, people that depend on us. A lot of people depend on us for many, many things. So we wear many, many hats in the family. We are the caregivers of the family. Even when I've been latched on to jobs that are in the helping field, even though I've been latched onto that, I know that I'm a caregiver. I know that I care about people to that extent. So you have to also care about yourself. Because I remember at times when I didn't, and I had 2 jobs, and I was raising a child, and I was running, you know, and it was just difficult, but I had to be able to keep a roof over our heads, you know. So a lot of us provide for our families. We're the breadwinners, and we can't forget that, and we don't forget that, because those things are important to us. When it comes to our health and welfare, you got to think about yourself too, because there's a lot of people that do want to see you around and do want to be able to love and care for you too. So further, it is a partnership. I want you to understand that it is a partnership. So no doctor knows more than you do, especially when it comes to self. So you must take care of yourself. What are my treatment choices? You can ask those kinds of questions. How long will the treatment last? What are the benefits and how successful is it? So those are the kind of questions you always want to ask if you ever have a disorder or some kind of a disease that you need to manage to live. Okay, and about my, so I did talk about food, you know, and really keeping up with that, you know, because we grab stuff, we eat it, and just go. And so it's important to stay on top of all of that. The way in which you eat, the way in which we really take care of ourselves. Are we sleeping well? Are we taking the time to really reflect and have some time to think about what we're doing? Because I always have a period in which I meditate about stuff. I meditate about the whole day, that I've experienced, so that I know what I need to do the very next day. Sometimes it's that I need to go back and talk to somebody. Sometimes I remember what I didn't talk to my doctor about. So it just so happens that the hospital that I go to, they have an email system, a patient link, that I can get on there and I can send my primary care physician a note, or any of my other medical professionals a note, just so that they know what's going on. So sometimes I will take the time to just send an email, and I do get a response, because they have people that watch that stuff too. So that's important. It's important to me, and so I would like for that also to be important to you, and to find out if there's a way in which sometimes you can get a hold of your doctor when he or she is not available. Because, they could have nurses that work closely with them, and they could have other medical professionals that can step in if there's a chance. But sometimes when you have an illness that needs a high priority of care, there's a doctor who doesn't want you to go to another medical professional at the same hospital if they're not available. Because how many of you have appointments sometimes that are scheduled 4 months out? I know I've had. And sometimes I've thought that I needed to see somebody sooner. So I'll send a note, hey, could I see somebody else? Could I see, when it comes to my primary care physician, I can see a nurse that works closely with my doctor, so she can make sure that she gets the message, and then we can also have an opportunity. Sometimes you can get emergency appointments, so don't think that you can't get an emergency appointment when you need one, because I'll just walk in, and somebody's going to take care of me, because I don't like pain, and I don't like, feeling like, I can't get through the day. So it's important that we take care of ourselves all the time. And so about tests, anybody ever worry about the tests that you're having? So you need to ask questions about that. When they're taking all these tests, what's this for? It just so happens that I ask so much now, till they print out something for me. Okay, you had your blood drawn for this, so I wanted to see everything that they were looking at. So I keep a file now at home, and I just sit it right in there, and so whenever I look at it again, I can compare them both, what's changing and what's not, because sometimes they won't tell you. Sometimes they don't find the time to talk to you about that. It is important that you're responsible for that also. It has to do with your test. So, so you can ask, what kind of tests am I taking? What will you find out from them? What are you looking for? Because I want to know what you're looking for. When will I have the results? Sometimes the results come really quickly. And where I have this system where I can send notes, I can go online at the patient, whatever it's called, I forget what it's called now, patient network or something, and I can see the tests there. So I can see old tests even, but I keep a hard copy because I'm just so old-fashioned. I need something I can feel, and look at. So maybe you're that person, but get it because it's important that you know what is going on and why you're getting a test for anything and what they're looking for every time they're looking. So please know, be empowered. Please know that your health and welfare means everything. And I'm speaking for your family members, your close friends, everybody, your children, because we want you around, and we want you around for a very long time. So it's important that I express that to you. We all need to be empowered around our health, because we do. We wear many hats. We wear many hats in our community, and so we're important. You may not think you're important, but you are, because sometimes helping others is a thankless kind of job sometimes, because people don't tell you how much they appreciate it, So what do I do? what do I have to do to prepare? Are there any risks associated with the tests that I'm having? And will I need more tests later? Just ask those questions. It's so important that you take care of yourself and be on top of your own physical welfare, because that's what this is about. And while I had many topics to talk about when it comes to women, that's my I just love you. I want you to take care of yourself, and I just really care about everybody who's a caregiver like I am. I'm just by nature a caregiver. I don't know whether it had to do with my upbringing, because I had siblings below me. I was taking care of them, making sure they were making it to bed at night and feeding them and whatever else when my mom was working too. So we wear many hats. Please understand that we need to be empowered around our own health. Okay? So I'm going to end. Anybody have any questions? Anything you'd like to chat about quickly? Because this is the, oh,
Yes,
Esther.
yeah, what I do, I like to research, doing my own research.
Yeah.
Like you talk about, like, thank God I don't have yet, but I like to research about how to talk. So what I realize, like, if my brother has a cancer, has prostate cancer, I have to research and find out about
Yes.
it so I can help myself.
Yes.
And it's good for us to research, so when you go to the doctor, we already know about
Right.
ourselves, about whatever, so we can ask questions, better questions, to make informed decisions and stuff.
And that
And
is
just
so
rely on
important.
doctor to teach you, know,
Yes. In this age of the internet, it's so easy. Even with our cell phones, we can do Google. We can ask Google about stuff and just see it. It's just so easy to do that kind of research, and it's good to understand that when you have things that run in the family, you stay on top of that. Please don't feel like you can't take care of yourself. We want you to be able to do that. How about you?
Do you have any rituals or exercises or recipes that you do to help maintain your health? You can
Yeah,
share?
you know what? Like I said, I'm still working on making it back. I'm not any different than you. You know what? And I try to stay on top of this kind of stuff. I really do. So, it's important that I exercise. It's important that I eat right. It's important that I sleep well. So those are the things that are real important to me right now. So I try to get it in when I can get it in. I just want everybody to know I'm not any different than you, but these are the things that we need to stay on top of when it comes to our own health and welfare.
I have a question. Do you think that, how do you feel about taking medication for menopause, but it has some type of side effects?
Those are the things you need to talk about. Well, the side effects. That's the other thing. When the medical professionals prescribe medication, you need to know what the side effects are, so you can anticipate if anything happens. Because I do that. I love looking up the side effects. Those are important. And so now at the pharmacy, you get something that's written about it. So take the time to just find a quiet moment to read, because you need to understand what the side effects are. And they have so many medications. If this one's not going to work for you, there can be another one that will work for you. Medication has come a long way, even since my mother was a young woman. It's just really gone, so in terms of treating people with medication, leaps and bounds. It's just like up there when it comes to medication. So some of us have taboos around medication, so we worry about those kinds of things. So be assured that you need to find out what the side effects are, and you need to follow up with that with your doctor, because that, I found the side effect. What? There was a medication that made me terribly depressed, so my head had to go to the table, and I called my doctor. She said, "Don't take another pill," and then she had to prescribe something else. So there are side effects to some of these medications. Not everyone can take the same medication. Please understand that, so that you understand that if there are any, if you're feeling some kind of way, you need to be able to talk to your doctor about it, because it may have something to do with the side effects. Yeah.
Yes, but Ms. Burnett, I discovered myself, talking about the side effect of medication. And because you speak about Google, I found it's very helpful when you do the research, because they give you medication to help a situation, but you can also do your research and get
Yes.
food to cure that situation, and you don't have to take that medication.
Well, this is
I
the
proven
thing.
that for myself.
I believe in alternative medicine too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying stop
That's right. I'm not saying that I'm gonna stop anything,
That's right.
but I believe in being educated around alternative
That's right.
medications.
That's right.
And even with alternative medications that they have out there, it's not for every one of us. It's not. It's the same thing that has to do with the
That's right.
medications that are being prescribed for us. Not everyone can take the
That's
same
right.
medication. So that goes for alternative medication too. And I love the homeopathic stuff. I do. I like to read about it anyway. You know, I've tried, what do you call that?
Acupuncture.
Acupuncture. Yeah, because I've had those things, you know. It costs a lot of money. Yeah, yes.
Yes, to address the young lady about the eating habits and whatnot. I'm a 71-year-old woman, and I was a very active teenager. But down through the years, you know, things happen, you have children, you get put on weight. I try to stay active continuously with the exercise and whatnot.
Yep.
But when I was great till 45.
Yep.
And, I put on like 10 pounds in a year or something. And so I've had to figure out, I still continue to exercise. Like
Yep.
I'm on a 21-day exercise challenge with some of my girlfriends who, a lot of my friends are younger than I am. They're
Yep.
like 20, maybe 10, 20 years younger. But I still try to keep up with the young people to encourage them, and the older to be an inspiration to let you know that there are things that we can do. Just because we're older, it
Yes.
doesn't mean life is over.
Right.
But you can still maintain
Absolutely.
anything you put your mind to. So pretty much you have to have a regimen of working out, or I have to change my eating habits, because I would work out all the time and not lose a pound.
Yep.
So that was maintenance. I could maintain my weight. But until I changed the way I ate, then I began to see the weight begin to fall off. So figure out what it is. Like I don't eat till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't eat anything.
Yes, I have to
That's like
stop
a
at a certain
fasting.
time. Yes, absolutely.
One meal a day.
Yep.
And when I'm not doing that, I might have just eat light snacks earlier in the day. I don't eat anything. I eat my dinner at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I don't eat like big meals late in the afternoon, staying away from the fried food or this and that. Every now and then I treat myself. Yesterday I had hamburger and a hot dog, all in the same day. But then I got up and went to the gym this morning and worked out for an hour. So you really just have to figure out, you know, what works for you.
You really do. Yeah, and that sounds like my story.
Yeah.
And I'll end with that. Thanks so much, ladies.
Thank you, Ms. Bernadette Rucker. I appreciate that information on the medical and the tips around self-care. I think I was 28 when I found a lump in my breast, Mom, right? 28? Maybe?
I think younger.
Younger?
Younger.
Okay, yeah. But I think back then they didn't do mammograms until you was like 40. So I had to talk to my mother, get her information, family history, all that stuff, go through all that jazz, and then I was able to get a mammogram. So Ms. Bernadette she brought that up about family history and knowing, you know, mother side, father side, whoever side you can find information from. You know, but thank God it's benign. They're still watching it, and you know, and that's that. So I thank God for that. So this part is the eating part. We're gonna break. We're gonna greet and meet. I'm gonna ask Minister Reed if she would bless this portion of this program, if she don't mind. I'm gonna
gonna go in there and do it, or just right now?
Wherever you feel comfortable with doing it, because we're gonna eat in there, but wherever you feel comfortable.
Yeah, that's fine, before we go in there.
Yes.
Bow your head.
See if I'm gonna try to get through this with no tears. For this next presenter. Okay. So when I asked my mom to speak at this event, my exact words to her was, "This is not a revival." So, you know, don't turn the church down a little bit. But I thought about what I said to her. I said to her, I said, this is not a revival. And actually that wasn't true. Because from the word revival comes from the word revival, you get revived.
Right.
So, and also to restore.
Right.
It says to restore to life or consciousness, to regain. I sure did take it back. To rejuvenate,
Right.
okay? To renew, a new lease on life. I have a bunch of them. To refresh and to restore. So, actually, this is a revival. A renewing of the spirit, a renewing of the mind, a renewing of purpose, an end of dreams.
All right. Fine.
So, do your thing when you come up here, Mama dear. All right. So, Evangelist Thelma McLaurin, born and educated in South Carolina, where she was born the second youngest of 9 siblings. Yeah, I got a lot of uncles and aunts. She worked full-time at the United Postal Service, where she retired at the age of 58.
Okay.
So I need to light that one. Mrs. McLaurin is the mother of 3 children, 2 boys, 1 girl, 14 grandchildren, and 5 great-grandchildren. Mrs. McLaurin has been a strong community activist over 40 years, working and spearheading different organizations such as Acorn, United for Justice, and a faithful member of New Rehoboth Bethel Church. And she is currently involved in Food Forest Coalition at 103 Ellington Street, the community garden, which is real nice. You all have to swing by there. But don't pick any of her collard greens, but y'all can just swing by. So my mother, Evangelist Thelma McLaurin.
Good. Hallelujah.
Let me go sit down.
All jokes aside. But God is no joke. If it had not been for him, we wouldn't be here. I just want to, before I go to my topic, just thank God for my daughter. Let's give her a hand. Praise the Lord. Thank God for my daughter, Lawanda. God blessed me with 1 daughter, and he knew what he was doing. 1. But I thank God because she is a very aggressive, ambitious, hard-driven, big dream, dedicated, and wonderful young lady. Not only because she's my daughter, because that's who she is. When she set her mind out to do something, she do it. And I can truly say, Wanda and I are friends. She's not a friend that I can hang with. I don't want to hang with my daughter. I don't want to hang with my children. When I say friend, a mother and daughter relationship. Something that is badly needed among the black parents today. Mother and daughter relationship. Mother and daughter relationship. I'm going to say that. Mother and daughter relationship. This is not a men bashing. We're not leaving the men out, but this is about us today. You understand? The more we learn about each other, the better that we will be successful in life. There's so many things that parents, the young women, don't know about the mother or the grandmother's background and anything like that. So there was never a really strong hold that they can say, oh, we had a friendship time. It was never that. Growing up in my household, you were the kid and that was the mother. Never mind the friend. You want friend, go find a friend to play with. You understand what I'm saying? But as you grow up, you really understand it's more to it than just that. Friendship is a very strong word. A very, very strong word. It's strong. And it's needed. It's very much needed among the African American people. It's needed around everybody. But because we are people of color, whether you are African American, American, or West Indian, or Spanish, wherever you come from, you still need that friendship with each other. Friendship comes in no special color. Friendship comes in no special, form or fashion. Friendship is friendship, real friendship. Sometimes friendship is brought about in a very unique way. And I'm going to share with you why I say that. First of all, let's define friendship. Friendship is a unity of distance between you and someone who is useful. Useful for you in some way. Number two, friendship of pleasure exists between you and those whose company you enjoy. Number three, friendship is a relationship of mutual affection between people. It is a stronger bond for them more than association or acquaintance. So you can't say, I know that person or I have friendship with that person just because you associate with them. That's different there. You can't say, we are in a friendship because I'm acquainted with them. You can't say that. Those are two different things. Friendship goes very deep. Friendship can mean different things to different people. Now, we're not talking about what the words say. Friendship with benefit. No, we're not into that today. We're not into that today. We're into something more stronger. Something more unique, something more real, something more complete. You understand what I'm saying? All right. Glory. Friendship. Listen, friendship does not have to mean. First of all, I want to say friendship is a blessing. I was criticized in my lifetime for being who I am. I'm a very outgoing person, very outspoken person, but I'm a very humble person. And I'm not bragging, but I choose to be that way because I see so many negatives. So many people don't get along, you know what I'm saying, and they start ruckus over nothing. So I choose to step back. You can be who you are without anybody pushing you to be who they want you to be. Do that make sense? Yeah. That's right. Be your own person. Be your own person. When you be your own person, and God can work with you in that area. But if you're trying to be somebody else, and that's a problem right there. That's a problem. Because we all are made individual, unique. Even if you give birth to a identical twin, they're still different. I have a identical twin nephew. My God, they're different. They look alike, but they're different. You understand? Friendship is a blessing. Knowing someone is there for you. Knowing that even though you don't talk to them every day, but someone is mindful of you. That's what friendship is. Somebody is mindful of you. It doesn't mean that I have to be in your house all the time. It doesn't mean you have to visit me all the time. We got a friendship going on. We got a bond going on. And I don't have to be in your back door all the time to let you know I'm your friend. Or for you to let me know that you're my friend. All right? When someone is mindful of you, thinking of you, maybe there's a laughter, they're talking about a joke, or something funny that you share down the way somewhere. And even emotional. Friendship handles everything. Emotional thing that you can share with one another for a lifetime. That's what friendship is about. Find somebody that you can really be friends with, that you can really open up with. Okay? We have to be very mindful. The life is too short to have people in your life who bring you down. Those kind of friendships we don't need. Especially the time that we live in now. We don't need that. Okay? We don't need people who don't support your dream, who don't support you or your dream. Okay? I know it's not your dream, but it's my dream. But I want you to be happy for me. That's what friendship is about. Being happy for each other when they're going through something or when they're trying to accomplish something. Being happy for a friend, for me just to stand. So I gotta watch out for those so-called friends. The friend that envy. They envy because you're doing something good. You're doing something positive. You're trying to move forward. But they have no intention of moving forward. So therefore, you heard this expression, I'm going to pull you down like a crab in the barrel. You know what I'm saying? Be careful with those. The minute the flag go up, get yourself out. If you don't, you'll stay in there and you will accomplish nothing. You'll still be in the battle fighting. All right? Those type of friends we don't need. Okay? And like I said, you have to be very careful of people being envy of you. And always trying to talk what you say. If you say something like, for instance, girl, my baby's walking at 9 months. Oh, my baby been walking at 6 months. Girl, I was watching Susie the other day, and Susie got 2 teeth. Oh, girl, Sam was born with 2 teeth. Trying to top everything you say. That's not friend. No matter what you say, they're trying to top it. You understand me? Girl, the Lord blessed my husband with a good job. He's working so and so. Oh yeah, mine is holding the book for the White House. Just telling all kinds of lies. Just to top what you say. Those kind of friends you don't need. All right? Having the right friendship must be surrounded by love, positively, through the good and the bad times. Friendship is a good thing because it is a union of people who trust and support one another. Always. Always. But good friendship is not always easy to come by. You can't always find good friendship. That we go through in life, either the friendship lasts or the friendship on trial. So what I mean by the friendship on trial? Some lessons you gotta learn. A lot of times you don't know that person until you really get close to them. And you really see what they're about. So your decision is, am I strong enough to pull out? Because you see where this friendship is taking me. Nowhere but down. Okay? All right, we have to be very careful on that. And like I say, some friendship, it lasts. It lasts. And some friendship is just on trial. Okay? If it's on trial, it can be shaky. Because of what? The person's personality. You notice right away. Something terrible about that personality. Something shaky about it. Something is always wrong. It's always got negative. Don't have nothing good to say about anybody. Oh, gee, you got a lovely dress. Oh, that's an ugly dress. I'm gonna wear that dress. You understand what I'm saying? Negative reaction like that. That's not friendship. You don't want to be in friendship like that where people always find fault. You don't want that. Attitude. Oh my goodness. Bad attitude. As soon as you realize that this person has this type of attitude, you can say, hey, I can do without that friend. I don't need that friend. Friendship doesn't mean I have to go along with your wrong just to be your friend. You understand what I'm saying? A real, genuine friendship is, Sally, I hear what you say, but that's wrong. That's wrong. If Sally really your friend, Sally take heed to you. If Sally still wants you to go around with her, then you better tell Sally goodbye. Because that friendship is going nowhere but down. Okay? I don't have to agree with your mom. Because the foundation of friendship is love, trust, loyalty, and patience. Respect also means that I can agree to disagree. I can agree to disagree. And there's no fight. There's no fight. I hear what you say, but I don't see it that way. I hear what you say. I understand what you're saying, but I just can't see it that way right now. Maybe later when I think about it, I can see it that way, but right now I just don't see it that way. There's no love lost. You go your way and I go my way. We're still friends. And we can disagree without compromising our friendship. That's the important thing. Being able to disagree without compromising your friendship. If that friendship is built on the foundation, what I just tell you about love, patience, and loyalty, there's nothing going to come to break that friendship up. Because it's a real friendship. It's built on the right foundation. And if it's built on the right foundation, it cannot be shaken. If it's built on the right foundation. All right? A good friendship is precious and priceless, valuable. I'm sure every woman in this room has something valuable, whether it's your diamond earring or your pearl or your gold necklace or your diamond ring or whatever you have on your finger. You have something that's precious to you, and you take good care of it. You guide it. But a friendship is just that special. You take good care of it. You guide it. Okay? A lasting friendship needs cultivating. It needs work. That's a lasting friendship. No stones and tornadoes are easy shaking. Oh, goodness. Oh, you wasn't my friend at all. Why? Because a little storm come in my life and you don't want to be with me now. You're going to go running. That's not a strong friendship. It has to be cultivated. It has to be nurtured. That's where good listening comes in at. Good listening and good communication come in always. Be ready to forgive. Be ready to forgive. It's very, very important to know how to forgive in a friendship. Now, why I say that? Someone may say something, a friend may never have to say they're sorry. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. Because what? Because even as friends, we hurt each other's feelings. Not intentionally. A real friend don't go out hurting a friend intentionally. We as women, we talk fast. We run off at the mouth. We understand, oh good, if I were you, I'd do this, and I'll do that, and I'll do that. No, listen first. Get the whole story. It's important that we listen first. Because even as friends, like I said, we hurt each other's feelings, not intentionally. That's why we should be open and compassionate. Open and compassionate toward one another. That's what real friendship is about. I feel your pain. I feel your hurt. I know what you're going through. Is there anything I can do to help you? Join compassion. As friendship, we said that we shouldn't. We think we have all the answers before hearing the complete story. Or we judge the situation before hearing the complete story. Before the story is completed, we done sentence the person. Now, you make them feel worse. Because here you are the judge, jury, and now you're about to execute them. Now you're about to take them to the gallery and hang them. As real friends, we need to listen first. As much as we want to put our 2 cents in, listen first. If you want to help, listen first. And as I say, when we hear the complete story, right away we want to judge the situation with our compassion, forgetting that the friend is looking for comfort, They're looking for strength. And I want to tell you something. Always look for a way to bring God in the situation. Always look for a way. I'll tell you why. Never let your friend feel that you are the all-knowing and all-powerful, I got all the answers, because you don't. That you're all-powerful, that you can fix it. Let them know there's a higher source, that you are dependent on that source to tap in for the resource that she needs, that the doors may be open, that can help her, that she can obtain help that she needs. That's the important thing. We don't have all the answers. One of the most beautiful qualities of friendship is to understand and to be understood. To understand what somebody's saying and to be understood of what you're saying or what you're telling them. A lot of times we walk away and say, all that talking, I don't know what you say. But stand there and question. James, start from the beginning. What do you mean by so and so? Explain to me what is this, what is that. Get the good understanding. And you won't walk away scratching your head. You walk away understanding what just was said in the conversation. Being trustworthy. Don't discuss personal information your friend shares with you. If she says it's confidential, keep it that way. Keep it that way. A friend do not betray a friend. Even if you get angry with them, don't hold that over their head. They trust you with that information. Don't do it. Don't do it. If need be, pray about it. But don't spread it. Don't spread her business. Being supportive and in facing challenges. Be there as much as you can. Make yourself available as much as you can. By phone, oh, we got it going on now. We got phone, we got text, we got email, we got FaceTime, we got tweakers. Oh, we got it going on now. So therefore, there's no reason for you not to contact your friend when she's going through something. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have to be in her door. You know, just text her. I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about you. A card. I like cards. I like sending cards to people. The phone is good, but I like sending cards to people. Get a card that speaks from your heart. And if you can't find no card that speaks from your heart, pick up a pen and write from your heart. Whatever in your heart, put it on the card. You'd be surprised how that will bring people up and lift them up. All right? Be supportive in challenging times. If need be, you know, offer to take them out for a coffee break or a tea break. Change the atmosphere. Sometimes if somebody's going through so much, you'd be surprised what a little thing is. Hey, what you doing? Oh, God, I'm just sitting here looking at the four walls. What's going on? Oh, everything is going on. All right, put your clothes on, put your clothes on. Come on, let's go up here and get a cup of tea. Let's go up and get a cup of coffee. You're taking them out the atmosphere. You're taking them out of a negative environment, and you're taking them into a peaceful environment. And that will help so much. A good listener. As I said before, a good listener is very important. It's important that you listen carefully so you will know how to respond in a positive way. It is always good to pray and ask God to give you the right word to say, because our opinion may not be the right word at that particular time. May not be the right word at that particular time. We don't need to be the friend that always has the answer. We don't need to, oh, I got the answer. No. When friends are going through a tough time, let them know you are there for them. You are not going to run anywhere. People sometimes, and I've seen it. It's sad, but I've seen it. I've experienced it. Just about everything that I'm telling you, I've experienced it. So I can tell you from my heart that these are the ways that some people act sometimes. And you would say, but I thought Linda was your friend. Oh, God, please. Man, she got so much thing going on, I don't want to be bothered. That's not the time. That's the time when Linda needs you. When you're going through tough times. That's the time when she needs you. And like I said, when friends are going through tough times, let them know you are there for them. You are not going to run away. It could be sickness, a broken relationship, children acting out. Oh, Lord, we got that going on today. Kids, grandkids, great-grandkids, all acting up. Everybody acting up. If you're not careful, the cat and the dog acting up. Everybody that's kicking up the dust. So you know what? Somebody has to be sane. Somebody has to look at the situation and be there for the people. And that's what a good friendship requires. Remember what real friendship is built on. Love, respect, loyalty, patience, long suffering. That's what it's built on. That's the foundation. Okay? If you're not able, and then again, your friend just needs somebody to vent to. You know, something aggravating them, they need somebody to talk to. You know, they need somebody to talk to. Yes, they can talk to God, yes, but maybe God ain't gonna tell them what they want to hear right then. But it's nice if I can go to you and say, you know, this is what's going on, and this is what's going on. Without you judging me, without you criticizing me, without you saying, oh, I hope you don't tell me that again. If you tell me that again, I don't know what I'm gonna do. No, listen. If that's your friend, listen. Because you're helping her. You are helping her by listening. If that friend, if they're not able to get the information or the resource they need, you can offer to contact people. People remember a friend in need is truly a friend in need. I'm coming down. Let them know you appreciate them. Let your friends know how important they are to you. Don't be afraid. Let them know how you appreciate them. Let the person know that they are a blessing in your life. Let them know. You are a blessing in my life. I am so glad that we are friends. If you have a good friend, don't be afraid to tell them that they are a blessing in your life, that they are a good friend. And that you hope to pray to be just as good a friend or a better friend. Sometimes people are better friends to you than you are to them, or you are a better friend to them than you are. Sometimes it's a little bit off balance, but if you can tolerate and deal with it, deal with it. Because no two persons are alike. No two persons are alike. Like I said, don't be afraid to thank God for your good friend. And say a prayer for the bad one. And have a friend, you must show yourself friendly. To have a friend, you must show yourself friendly. I thank you all very much. I want to say this to myself. I thank you very much for coming. I thank you so much for coming and support my daughter. And I want to say, I know all of you all, have a heart. And that's wonderful. But I want to point out 4 people in here that I know personally have been so much supportive of me. I have 3 former co-workers in here. 3 former co-workers right behind you. That's Mary, that's Jenny, and that's Miss Therese. And Tish didn't work with us, but she's a friend too. These 4 women are my friends. I can truly say they are my friends. I have my 50th wedding anniversary, and these women were sitting here. I feel that I can call on these women if I need to at any time, without any hesitation. So I just want to show you in living color, friends. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we have grown up and we worked over 40 years for the post office. We had not always been Christian. I had not always been a Christian. But one thing we thank God for Jesus, that He put our old life under blood and we can move forward our new life. God bless you.